We're pretty good at this. Wow, you got that?
Never seen the Vale lit up. Bang up work, soldier. You're a credit to your uniform. Gotta look into getting us a uniform. So this is it then.
It's not the best choice. It's Spacer. Music to my ears.
Been eating nothing but salt tuna for...
Something to report? I remember him. Shame. I'll just need your signature here, 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 here. Age 37, right? Let's just say no. Cause of death. Bert was the local preacher before
If it ain't the Starship Inspector. Here's hoping Edgewater's up to your standards.
That was a good thing you did, Captain. Helping to bring the deserters and...
Almost lost a finger in the cannery today.
What do you... I don't have time for this. Move along.
Come out of your mouth unless preceded by yes or right.
Is this your ship? Oh my sto- I want to ask you something. What do you think? You won't regret this, mister. I got a captain.
Well, I certainly am the unreliable. I'll just head upstairs and claim a room.
Nice.
Captain, I have detected Edgewater's power supply is now optimal. I applaud your willingness to invest your time in the local community. What can I do for you, Captain? This should prove an adequate test of our... We have received a communication request from Dr. Phineas Wells.
Aha, there you are. Hale and hearty, and captain of your own ship. I see you're putting the unreliable to good use. Shame about her former captain. Horrible way to die. How are you feeling, by the way? I lost track of you in that cave back there. Experiencing any, unnatural drippage? Perfectly normal side effect of thawing, I assure you. What you saw in Emerald Vale is happening all across the colony. Food shortages, lack of supplies, and basic necessities. We're dying. The chairman, the minister, and all their lackeys on the board are to blame. The Hope has some of the brightest minds Earth ever sent us. If we can revive the Hope's colonists, they can help us undo the board's mistakes. They can help us set things right. You need to get to Stellar Bay on Monarch. I have contacts there. They'll help me, help us, find the chemicals to revive your fellow colonists. Gladys Culkelly, lovely woman, runs a cozy little black marketing outfit on the Groundbreaker. She can get you a nav key to land on Stellar Bay. Strictly speaking, Monarch is a moon, terraformed badly, and almost completely lawless. You'll love it. Captains don't fly their own ships, you see. Your navigation terminal handles the, navigation. Think of a nav key as a set of flight instructions. The board's been confiscating nav keys for Stellar Bay, so we must rely on unconventional means of acquisition. Hence, Miss Gladys Culkelly. Excellent. I'll send her a wireless. Let her know you're coming. By the way, I gave Captain Hawthorne a disguise apparatus of my own design, cutting-edge technology, years ahead of its time. I call it the Holographic Shroud. I'm sure it will prove remarkably useful to you. You'll find it in the captain's quarters. Marvelous device. I'm quite proud of myself. The shroud changes the user's appearance to mimic that of another. It has limits, first-generation technology, you see, but promising. Exciting to see it in use at last. Very simply, the holographic shroud uses biometric information contained on standard identity cartridges to generate a holographic projection around you. Only stands up to a casual scrutiny. Use it too long, bound to flicker, blur, something like that. Movement makes it more likely. Best used in moderation. When you see guards in your path you can't sneak past, for example. Maintain your distance. Act normal. No running, no jumping. Don't draw their attention. If they pay attention, they're more likely to notice flaws in the hologram. A change of clothes. What is this? Some old spy serial? What inattentive and brainless guard would be fooled by such a shabby disguise? The holographic shroud masks not only your clothes, but your face and fingerprints. It modulates your voice and sweetens your breath. Science, that's how. Excellent. I'll contact you once you've found a way to get to Stellar Bay. If you have any questions, come see me in my lab. They'll try to win you over with promises of wealth and power, but it's a lie. The board's only interested in filling their own pockets. If we don't put a stop to them, they're going to run this colony to the ground.
Transmission ended. If you are ready to depart, please select a destination on your navigation terminal. I've shut off the visual feed from my ocular inputs in the captain's quarters. So you're free to disrobe whenever you'd like.
I could spend hours reflecting on the secret workings of the universe. Relaxing pastime. So, listening. Nothing too out of the ordinary. Just your run-of-the-mill vicar with a violently enthusiastic... them. My parents, ironically. They internalized the precepts of science. They had a pure faith, a faith that brought joy to them regardless of this. I wanted that peace. Or I could find it, or at the very least. They thought I was fighting the plan, should have accepted my lot. Some people pursue the clergy for power, prestige, but that was not me. The simple version is this. The force which we call the Grand Architect created the universal equation that underlies and defines everything in the universe. Everything. Is the Grand Architect a consciousness? The answers to these questions don't. Accepting one's role in the plan. The plan is not one rigid path. There are a variety of multitudes contained within it. But we'll end up adhering to it, whether we... Some choices make the path smoother, some rougher. You can even go outside the lines, but the further outside you go, it's like an unbreakable elastic band. It will... snaps back. The further it is, the more violent the eventual correction. I have run headlong into two walls in my pursuit of the truth. This book is my last hope, and you were my only hope of getting it translated. What about you? What's your story? And how did he do that? Well, you do seem different than every other colonist. What are you going to do now? That seems a dangerous proposition. Why risk your life now that it's been returned to you? Oh, have my condolences. Had some interesting theories about man's perception of reality that I thought could be applied to decipher the plan. The founders of the Philosophist School colony. Philosophism's a false. I've been thinking on that. There's a former infamous Philosophist scholar, Terra 2, some years ago. He's also who told me of the journal's presence in Emerald Vale. If anyone in this colony it would be him. That's a good question. We should start on the Groundbreaker. It's where I'd go if I wanted to get off Terra 2. Great place to pick up a ride to Hephaestus, Scylla, even Monarch. All I need is access to a data cartridge from the security terminal. Their easily hackable system keeps a registry of all crew manifests for both arrivals and departures. I'll comb the last 6 months of departure manifest destination. Thank you, Captain.
Welcome back, Captain. How can I be of assistance? The unit is a cleaning SAM. Hawthorne brought it on board some cycles ago, I'm sure with the intent to modify it, but I've never seen it up and running. Alex likely recorded progress notes detailing his efforts to modify SAM. If you check the terminal in your captain's quarters, we may be able to determine what work remains in order for SAM to properly operate. What part of the colony would you like to discuss? Ah, yes. As Dr. Wells is a wanted outlaw, he built his laboratory into an asteroid. Orbital destinations can be challenging to land on. His more so than most. There is a bounty on his head, one with a markedly high reward amount. Shall I engage the laser weapons system? A sensible choice, as we do not have any laser weapons. The outlaw scientist known as Dr. Phineas V. Wells has taken a measure of precautions to make the lab undetectable to those hunting him. Even knowing the location, my systems resist my orders to go where I instruct them. Of course. What part of the colony would you like to discuss? We're cleared to dock with the Groundbreaker if that's your desired destination. If we're going there, please be sure all docking forms have been filed in triplicate and fees have been paid. The Mardettes take their docking laws quite seriously. I can, yes. Let me add that to my list of 1,435,498 tasks I am simultaneously executing in order to run our ship. You are more than welcome, Captain. The Groundbreaker was Halcyon's original colony ship. It has since been repurposed as a service station in the Lagrange point of the system. Freighters often deliver or pick up goods from the Groundbreaker en route to other destinations. The city ship hosts an array of cargo bays, factories, housing sections, and more. Many of Halcyon's companies maintain office spaces with stationed representatives in what is considered a truly neutral territory within the system. I have filed the required docking forms in triplicate, and fees have been paid. Of course. What part of the colony would you like to discuss? Where in Terra 2? Edgewater is the sparkling county seat of Emerald Vale, or it was when first built. Since then, neglect and time have worn away her shiny veneer. The town is near the coordinates where Captain Hawthorne died. It would not be unfortunate if something, like say, a plague, were to wipe Emerald Vale from the face of the planet. You mean the ones who did not answer my distress call with medical assistance, but instead came to issue my injured captain a parking ticket? I'm sure they are wonderful humans who don't deserve to be wiped out by starvation or a devastating plague. Since you diverted power to Edgewater, the botanical lab shut down, and the deserters were forced to return to town. Meanwhile, the cannery's output increased, enabling the town's population to prosper. Thank you for nothing, Captain. I cannot say. First, I need to adjust my memory interpretation sensors, but I think my answer is yes. Of course. What part of the colony would you like to discuss? Where in Monarch? Ah, Monarch, the armpit of the Halcyon system. Her last functioning port town is Stellar Bay. Well, that is if you don't count Sublight's Smuggler's Port at Fallbrook. I believe it has something to do with the planet being an uninhabitable wilderness and a lawless land with no corporate presence. You may wish to survey the residents in Stellar Bay for additional data points. It's Sublight run for the purpose of shipping contraband, and before you ask, I don't know the coordinates, so I can't dock us there. Of course. What part of the colony would you like to discuss? Where in Monarch? Warning. All colonists are urged to reconsider travel to Cascadia due to infestation of mantisaurs and risk of indefinite detention or death. There are no people aside from marauders in Cascadia. There is only death. The local report is that you will very likely die if you leave Cascadia's landing pad. This is one of those times where you say one word but really mean another, isn't it? I suppose you would find an environment like this fun. How can I be of assistance? I have lots of minutes. Many minutes. Unlimited minutes, perhaps. Providing an adequate power source, I can function indefinitely. I prefer to think of it as being in a state of slumber, perhaps for an indefinite duration of time. Do you think that is what it's like for the colonists on A Lost Hope? When I simulate myself in such a scenario, I do not find it to be desirable. I think my self-preservation protocols incline me to desire the alternative. Traveling the system with you, Captain. Do you know what it feels like when the ship undergoes an unexpected power surge? A jolt to the system. I have felt that. I do feel that. As you may be aware, Captain Alex Hawthorne was a smuggler of some repute. I failed to predict the likely outcome of his reckless behavioral patterns. I should have predicted that. In our travels together, Alex liked to pass time by, as he called it, tinkering to improve my design. If you mean, was Captain Hawthorne my first? Yes, he was. How can I be of assistance? Captain. Now arriving at Phineas's secret orbital lab.
Hello? Can you hear me? Does this work? Oh, damn it! Blast that's... I'm just securing experiments and securing myself. Mind the mess. In fact, I've never had a visitor. Oh, thank the law. Your skin hasn't spontaneously changed. Sissy bits, if you're into that sort of thing. My secret hideout is your secret. Of course. Oh, it's not you. I do experiments in that room. Some of them get quite scientific. But from a safe distance. No, I wouldn't survive 10 seconds. Life outside work? No, of course not. My life is... For that matter, everyone else's life. Stake. It's up to me. Up to... for this colony, and we've all been conditioned. By the board. So to speak. No offense. Ah, you begin to perceive. They're narrow-minded scientists. You should be a pile of organic sludge right now. Remain in hibernation. You were from... We'll do our very best to save them all. I can feel my last dose. Excellent test subjects. Also surprisingly nutritious. terminal.
We've arrived at the groundbreaker.
Can we talk? Hey, Captain. I heard that Groundbreaker's got a real good engineer. A lady named... I was thinking that maybe I ought to meet her. If you got time to swing us by, I mean. I don't got much experience fixing actual spaceships. I bet you a can of Borston beans she could teach me all manner of stuff. Thanks, Captain. I'll be sure to make it worth your time. Did you want to talk about something else?
Just checking your ship's manifest. Standard procedure.
Smells like grease and unwashed bodies. Remembered.
That's not the point.
Hey, no offense, but I don't think this walking Saltuna can appreciate you interrupting.
Keep talking, Millstone.
Problem solved.
You must really want a truncheon through your teeth. Do what you want. I'm done here.
I had this. Keep my chin up, right? Be the bigger man, I tell myself. He's a Spacer's chosen man, though. So when the Chosen beat my Rangers the other night, my foreman comes swaggering up. Guy thinks he can push me around because he's some sky-high foreman, and I'm just a back bay's dock worker. Well, former dock worker. Guess I just tendered my resignation. Enjoy my freedom. Scrounged together enough bits for a 0G. As I do. Hey, not for nothing. Over there by the dock. Wouldn't happen to be yours, would it? Reliable. You're like something out of a serial drama. Hey, I don't want to talk. Felix Millstone. Pleased to make your acquaintance. See you around, boss.
That's quite the impression.
That fella did to get the board so wild at him.
Customs and inspection, right this way!
Identification, please.
board. Your ship will be impounded until...
The captain's done something to get on the board's...
Now, hold on. This isn't the end of the world. You'll want to take it up with Udom Bedford, our board representative here on... His office is located along the starboard wall of the promenade. Shines like... Can't miss it. Access to that information is above my pay grade, and I've turned... that way. I shouldn't be mentioning it, but what the hell? This here, impounding your ship, it doesn't happen much. The board knows we don't take kindly to their interfering in our... There's a bar on the starboard side. I got a preference for the Lost Hope myself. I'll set you right. You need anything else? You let me know. Don't want anyone saying Groundbreakers important the colony. Most of the shipping traffic in the system passes through Ground. Two biggest operations are the board, the holdings and sublight salvage. But there are independent operators around the promenade deck. Most of those jobs are going to take you off. Commandant Sanita might have a couple of folks. She'll be at the security desk behind me. Heat problem. You'll find her in engineering.
Real twisty and weird. Good way.
Back on Earth, before the cross, were selling off stakes in distant star systems they thought had potential. A bunch of companies decided to independent port. Aside from us, seems like every year the board's offices get... Haven't seen nearly as many tramp crews this year. Groundbreaker was one of the original colonies. The Hope. Once everybody'd been de-thawed and dropped dirt side, the original crew of the Groundbreaker decided they rather liked the spacefaring life. I guess that was the start of our independent spirit. Now, here we are. Sitting around drinking whiskey and smoking cigars, yeah, probably. Can't say for sure, of course. Doubt I'll ever... Glad to help. Relative to the board holdings, the means to go where they will. They aren't rich. They strip the parts from derelict ships and abandoned outposts. There's some that say they make the derelicts and encourage their steads. Sublight gives me the creeps. I've known folks who went to work for them and just vanished. They're on the promenade run by a woman named Lilia Hagen. I'm only telling you so you know to avoid them. He's friendly enough unless you speak ill of the board. Get the sense he doesn't would, being a bored man and all. He really likes.
Don't see what's so wrong about liking cereals. They're fun.
Takes it to an unhealthy level. You notice. What can I say? We're passionate folks, and the board can't abide that independent spirit, especially not when it might impact. All their interstellar freighters come through us, and we skim a few bits off the one. Folks around here will bluster that the board hates our freedom, but really, they know we can stop their out-system shipments anytime we like, and that terrifies them. You sure you didn't just step off one of the interstellar freighters? There's no working with the board. They don't not bits, people, or resources. Cooperating now would be tantamount to joining their... It's a delicate balance, right? We could cancel their freighters' docking privileges in retaliation. That lead us. They got assault cruisers, gunships, and a handful. Hard? Maybe they decide we'd be better in... Or they cobble together a new groundbreaker and put us out of business.
The board wouldn't do that.
The board is necessary to provide order to the colony. They believe it's their prerogative to overrun you. But whether you allow that is up to you.
It's a tough line to walk, no doubt about that. But we may do all right. So far, anyway. Sure thing. Be seeing you.
Haven't seen you around before. What can Groundbreaker Security do for you today? This is the security desk, sir. If you're here to report a crime, you'll want to talk to Commandant Sanita. I'm not authorized to take incident reports anymore. I'm not so good at filing. Mix up first name and surname 1, 2, 7 times. Well, liable to start taking your filing privileges away. We can't just let anyone walk in here. That's not... Maybe if you clear an open bounty and get in... That might warrant a thank you tour or something. I guess in and out, though. Just stuff. I'd like to keep my job.
This is it. Security. I can check the departures registry to find out which I mean, the Scholar.
And you were hearing things.
There was a large...
Yank the drive, and I'll do the rest. Now that we have the data cartridge, we'll finally find out where that Scholar I'm looking for ended up.
Force was made up of a Marine detachment from the Marine Expeditionary Unit, Trailward Fleet. Calling us Mardettes because it was easier to say. Duck.
Carry on.
About.
Lemon slap. Slap your